Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Rick Hahne Calls 110 here at Iowa Speedway. The only driver-designed racetrack, Rusty Wallace played an integral part in the design and is the majority owner of this great racetrack patterned after Richmond International Raceway, a track where Rusty was very successful. This 7/8 mile racetrack has 4 turns. The corners have 12 to 14 degrees banking with a 10-degree front stretch and a 4-degree back straight. IRL, this has been home for IRL, NASCAR, Nationwide, and Camping's World Series. Indy Lights and ARCA Remax also have raced at this track. I'll now turn over the broadcast to Rob Moore for driver introductions.
And for tonight's lineup, sitting on the pole, we have number 35, Matthew Scott. In second, we have number 62, Brian Holman. Bringing up third is 01, Wayne Willard. Second row outside is Corey Valkenot. Row 3 inside is Mark Schaefer in the number 80. Row 3 outside is Mark Figueroa in the number 00. We have Josh Weaver in the number 12 in the 7th spot. We have Donnie Gates in the number 51 in the 8th spot. We have Eddie Muha, number 61, in the 9th position. We have Tony Pandon in the number 7 car in the 10th position. In the 11th position, we have Bobby Cannon in the 29. The 12th position, we have Gary Moore in the number 53. The 13th position, we have Ed Mahalchik in the number 8. In the 14th position, we have Bob Roberts in the number 47. The 15th position, we have number 99, Sam Henry. In the 16th position, we have Randall Bourne in the 04. In the 17th position, we have Robert Thompson in the number 32. The 18th position, we have Bob Bevins in the number 64. The 19th position, we have Glenn Nettisol in the number 92. The 20th position, we have Steve Bryan in the number 18. 21st position, we have Ron Miller in the number 60. 22nd position, we have Robert Lee in the number 41, the defending late model series champion. In the 23rd spot, we have Michael Hungerford in the number 96. And bringing up the rear of the field, number 5, Gabe Adair. All right, guys, as we watch these guys go around under their pace lap, what are you guys thinking for tonight's race? I drove this setup last night a little bit with these guys, and I know that they got a lot of grip and limited horsepower under the hoods of these things, these iRacing late model series. Should be a good race. What do you think?
I think it should be a pretty good race. We have it's a momentum track. It seems like the field don't spread out very much, and it's definitely a driver track, and we have a lot of good drivers up in this field, so I think that this is open for anybody to win.
Yeah, the driver I'll be keeping an eye on tonight, sitting in the pole position, will be the number 35, Matthew Scott. That guy can really go, and he's sitting on the pole, and that clean air is so important with this fixed setup.
Yeah, Rob, I'm keeping my eye on Brian Holman. You know, ever since he came over to Big Dogs Racing, he's been fast, and I've always had my eye on him.
As we come around to take this start-finish here, pace car should be pulling off.
And we're green.
Green, green, green. These guys are dropping gears now.
Going into turn 1, number 35 of Matthew Scott takes the lead, followed by Brian Holman in second, keeping up with him. We also have Corey Valkenot.
We've got a strong battle going on here for the, looks like the 4th position with Wayne Willard.
Yeah, if you'll notice, guys, wherever you find Wayne Willard on the track, you're going to find him in a hard battle. Wayne likes to drive the car for all it's worth every single lap of the race. He's going to go.
And it looks like we have the 18 car just pulling out onto the track. He must have had some issues on the grid, and he is now coming out in 23rd position, and he might be a lap down.
Yeah, I noticed he was blinking when we were watching him in practice. I'm wondering if he isn't having some sort of internet problems, and if he is, they might have asked him to drive down pit road.
He has gone down now a lap, and we'll see if he can get that back as the race progresses.
Further on back in the field, I notice we have a good battle between Bobby Cannon and Eddie Mua.
We have a
Hahne is out.
looks like Bob Evans and Randall Bourne had gotten together. It looks like Bourne had come down a little bit on Bevins and went up into the wall.
These guys are running tonight without repairs, so let's hope they didn't tear them up too much, or their nights could be over early. I'm not seeing any damage on Bob Evans's car.
He didn't go up into the wall. It was the other driver.
Okay, let's see who takes early pit stops. Tires are at a premium with this new iRacing build. Those first few laps are pretty critical, and it's hard to pass here, so I'm interested to see how many cars will take tires.
Yeah, Sam Henry has a lot of front end damage. I don't know if they'll be able to repair that and keep going. He hit pretty hard going head on after he spun it. That Chili Chevrolet is pretty tore up. It's not as hot as it was when we started.
I noticed, Nick, the number 35 didn't pit. Do you think that'll play a role on giving up some track position once they get going?
You know, if they have a long run, it might hurt him a little bit, but with his skill, and they only had a couple laps into it, I think he'll be all right. I've raced this track before, and I found that, you know, if you stay out 10, 15 laps into it and you hang on to your race car pretty good, should be able to do just fine.
Looks like Ron Miller will be receiving the lucky dog. I'm not sure how he went a lap down. But he'll be back on the lead lap fighting for it now. Looks like the number 29 of Bobby Cannon may have gotten a penalty. He's dropping to the back of the field.
Yeah, it's looking good on my end. I just checked the volume. I had it turned off so I couldn't hear it, and it confused me in backfeed and all that. But I turned it on just now, and it sounds good. It's something on his end. It's all good.
Looks like just about everybody's going to stop and pit on this stop. Did anybody stay out?
Yeah, it looks like Eddie Mua probably stayed out there.
Well, with the way his car was hooked up, he's probably feeling pretty comfortable in that race car and didn't feel he needed to come in for a fresh one. It's early still in the race, and he's got plenty of time to get him 4 new skins on there. So
I don't know how comfortable I'd feel if the number 35, a Matt Scott, was breathing down my neck on brand new tires. And he must have a plan. Let's
his plan, I think, is to stay up front where it's safe right now with everybody wrecking. He doesn't want to get himself buried in the field, probably. It's probably better to drop like a rock than possibly get caught up in somebody else's mess. I'm thinking that's his plan.
Yeah, I agree. He should only lose positions until their tires come up to temperature anyways, and then he should be able to maintain. So maybe he is safer. But, you know, he's out there driving, and maybe the car feels good enough where he's going to be able to keep up and run with them.
Yeah, that very well could be, you know, especially with these other guys on fresh tires and he falls back. Guys, don't forget, the last green flag run, they were all jostling for position from like 5th on back. I mean, like I said, I didn't know where to be looking.
Yeah, and they spend a lot of time, you know, passing each other here. It isn't like it's real fast and happens all at once. So, you know, that gives these guys up front time to straighten out and put some distance between them and the field. So maybe that's part of what he's thinking.
Oh, definitely, you know, especially Mua has been getting a good jump on the restarts, and no one could really keep up with him. So we'll have to see what Matthew Scott can do on this restart.
We have the 80 of Mark Schaefer coming down pit road again, and guess he figured to go ahead and get some more repairs and get some more fuel in that bad boy for this next run. Seems like he's still on the lead lap. He barely caught it out of the pit, so. And we'll be going green this time by.
As they line up 2 wide, I think they're even doing first gear restarts in these. So they're really going through them gears quick when the green comes out.
Alright, they are now rounding through turns 3 and 4, and the pace car is getting ready to be looking on the pit road. And it looks like the pace car has pulled off, and Eddie Moo is going to bring him down to the green. And they are going, and Eddie Mua had a bad start as they go 3 wide going into turn number 1. Bobby Cannon on the inside, and he's looking for the lead, but Muha staying strong on the outside. And here comes Cannon right on the outside to take number 2 away. Now they're running neck and neck coming into turn number 3. Bobby Cannon is going like he lit a cannon or something.
His name says it all, doesn't it?
It sure does.
We've got Matt Scott pulled a power move through that, and he's got a good run going on the high side, but can he complete the pass up there?
It looks like he got credited, Scott got credited with the, with leading that lap, and he's trying to itch away from Cannon on the inside.
And he's
just not
completed
giving
the
up.
pass, so it should be off to the races for these guys up front now.
Yeah, it looks like Eddie Mua is still having a little bit of issues there as he's racing with Corey there on the coming out of turn 2.
Looked like he got a little shove, but Shelton resumed the lead.
Well, some of these guys on these fresher tires are probably wanting to get him out of the way so they can make up some distance. Oh, and the caution is out. See if we can find that on the track.
Looks like it was as they're going in turn number 3, and it looks like Brandon Boren had a real hard push going into turn number 3. Let's take a look at the replay and see what it all says. Yeah, they dive down into turn number 3. Oh, here they come out too. Looks like the 96. Yeah, looks like the 96 got into him hard as they were going turn number 3, and Bourne went for a very, very hard hit onto the outside and spun multiple times after hitting it.
Yeah,
it looks like
it looked like Randall checked up in the corner, and the guy behind him just never let off the gas.
Yeah, it looks like Matthew Scott is coming in to make a pit stop this time.
It looks like Eddie Muon, the 61, has stayed out again. Several cars stayed out on this run. They must be learning something from Eddie.
They must.
Why don't we bring Ed into the booth with us and talk to him and see what his plan is.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and bring him on in.
Ed, Rob Moore, you got your ears on.
10-4.
What's your plan tonight? We notice you haven't stopped for the last couple cautions. You must be feeling pretty confident with those tires, huh?
Yeah, Rob, the tires feel good still, and, you know, I still got plenty of gas, and we're having so many cautions, you know. I mean, I figure I can make it to at least another stop.
You know, I'm curious, Eddie. I seen you got a bad restart the last time. What happened to you there?
Well, I missed the shift, and then, you know, they got such a run on me. I just tried to hold my line in the middle. I knew they were going to get by me.
You guys had some pretty good 3-wide action going on there for a minute. Good holding that together, guys.
Yeah, it was a little hairy for a second, but I, you know, I quickly backed off and just got in line.
Well, Ed, we'll let you get back to your race now. Good luck. We're pulling for you here in the booth.
And represent that triad.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate the broadcast, and this setup's awesome, Rob.
And as we pace them down the field again, we'll go through, and we got Eddie in the 61, Corey Volkanaut in the 21 running in second, the 53 of Gary Moore running third, the 01 of Wayne Willard is running fourth, and we have Bob Roberts to round off the top 5 in the number 47 car.
Then it looks like we got Michael Hungerford running in the 6th position, then followed by Robert Lee. And then we got Bob Bevins following behind him in the 64 in the 8th position. Bobby Cannon running the number 29 in the 9th position. And rounding out your top 10 is Robert Thompson in the number 32.
You know, interestingly enough, we haven't seen much from Brian Holman in the 62 car. I expected to see him up front a little bit more. I wonder what's going on with him tonight.
Yeah, he got loose in that one run and got it a little sideways, or he had some help anyhow. And I thought he'd march right back forward, but maybe he's taking the new tire strategy as well. Yeah, he has he's pitted all 4 times they've been open now, so maybe his strategy is to keep fresh rubber under it and be there at the end, or hope for a real long green run, and if they can get some space between them, you know, that's when he really shines.
Yeah, he is definitely a good long run driver. I've watched him race before, and I like his talent. He's a great character and definitely a good wheelman. It looks like we're going to be going green this time by. They're filed up double file, and I'll turn the broadcast over to Mike.
All right, they are coming back to the green, and Eddie Muha gets a better start this time around than he did on the last restart, but Vulcanant staying strong on the outside. Muha actually ends over a little bit over a car length heading into the turn, but Vulcanant is coming strong on the outside. It looks like they are double wide. It looks like Wayne Willard got past Gary Moore for the third position.
Yeah,
then we got...
Question is, will Corey Vulcanant have enough tires to get around him? It looks like he's going to try it on the bottom anyways. He's got about 8 laps newer tires there.
Eddie's working it hard on that outside, and it looks like he's got somebody coming with him.
Looks like Wayne Willard said, hey, that outside line's moving. I'm going to jump in there.
Yeah, it looks like Vulcanant got on the apron there in turn 2 and cost him a spot to Wayne Willard there.
It looked like it may cost him another spot to the 47.
It looks like Willard is now putting the pressure on Eddie Muha as they go diving down in turn number 3 and 4.
Old Wayne Willard from Buford, Georgia. He's been racing for a long time. He's got about 32 seconds of online experience, it says here on his resume, but I believe it's about 6 years. And it looks like he's going to be going for the lead here on Eddie Muha.
Yeah, it looks like Eddie Muha is just going to give him plenty of room as they dive down in turn number 3. And let's see what it says at the stripe. Let's see who leads that one. And it's going to be Eddie Muha as he gets back in front of Willard. So Willard's just going to follow behind him and going in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, it looks like Eddie's using that variable banking to his advantage and getting some really strong runs off the top. And anytime somebody wants to go low on him, he's just letting them down there. Now we'll go back. There's a big battle for 7th place between Bob Roberts, Matthew Scott, Bob Evans, Robert Lee. Looks like Matthew Scott, I thought he'd be a lot stronger tonight, but he's having a little more difficulty getting through the field. It looks like Bobby Cannon got into the wall just a little bit, and Matthew Scott's going around him. He's saying, you lost your momentum, buddy.
Yeah, once you hit the wall at this place, it slows your momentum down a lot. As we see the 62 taking a pass on Bob Bevins at this point, heading down in turn 3.
Yeah, that 62 car, since this went green, he's moved himself up pretty good through the field. He's been just taking his time, picking them off one by one. I think we'll see him up towards the front near the end.
Looks like the 96 car is having a little difficulty. He was down there on the apron. He's back up in the race crew, but it looks like he's getting passed pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there as they came out of turn 4 last time round. All I saw is his car shoot towards the apron, and it looks like it was cool that he was able to hang on to it there.
Yeah, we have both the 35 and the 62. They're moving forward, and let's not forget about that 29 of Bobby Cannon. He's sneaking his way in there behind these guys. He knows they're fast. He knows where they're headed.
Yeah, there's definitely a great battle for 8th there. Holman on the outside. He's running that outside line real good. He was doing good on the low line too, but it looks like he's so much stronger on the outside there.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of these guys are resorting to that top side. It looks like the exit of these corners is just fast.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect that to be that way. It seemed like this track was more of a low-line track, but it looks like, at least today for sure, there's a lot of grip out there, and it seems like the place to be. We got a spin with the 18 car.
And Steve Bryan goes around.
Looks like the 8 and the 18 had gotten together a little bit. The 8 slid up into them, and not too bad of an incident, but I think they'll both be able to recover from it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that replay again, and let's see what happened. It looks like we caught it as as Brian was finishing up his spin.
Well, we're running through the replays and the different camera angles. We'd like to give a special thanks to Phil Diaz here in the booth tonight. We're pretty inexperienced, as you can probably all hear out there, and this is our first live broadcast that we've ever attempted here at Big Dogs. And Phil has graciously stepped in from Glacier TV. You can visit them at glaciertv.com. Great group of guys. I just wanted to give a special thanks to you, Phil. You're doing a good job. It's probably hard to keep up with us rattling around the track, but thank you.
It looks like Eddie Muha is finally coming down pit road, and it looks like he's bringing the whole field with him. And but it looks like one car stayed out, but I think that was probably a lap down car there.
That would be the 47. No, he's not a lap down. That's Bob Roberts. That'll move him into the lead if he doesn't pit.
Finally got Muha to come down and get some fresh tires. Looks like he'll probably get some right front work done on that car too, because it looked like he had a little bit of right front damage.
Looks as though Sam Henry's decided to turn it in for the night. They loaded him up on the trailer and said, let's take it home.
Yeah, Sam Henry had a pretty bad start there, you know, from the get-go. You know, I believe he was in the first two cautions there. And it's really upsetting to see Sam Henry go. He's a good driver there, too. Yeah, and it looks like Eddie Muha is still sitting in the pits. Looks like he might be fixing some damage, probably.
Yeah, or it's either that or these things do take a real long time to put fuel in. You can get 4 tires with just about 3 gallons, and that's not going to get you to the end. But it looks like he might be going a lap down.
Yeah, that's going to be a shame for Eddie there. He was strong all night, and we don't know. Hang on, it looks like he's going out.
No, he beat it. He beat it.
Yeah,
well,
he got out in front of it.
That had to make him nervous, stay out for a pit strategy, and just about go a lap down getting fuel.
Yeah, Eddie was sitting there for a long time. He had me getting worried there. Looks like he's fallen back all the way back to the 20th position. So he has to be careful making his way back to the front.
Well, we've seen it from Brian Holden and some of the other guys that have gone from the front to the back. It's not an easy climb back forward.
Nah, and especially the way that they're racing today, it is going to be hard for Eddie Muha to get back to the front. But he's been strong, so if he can make that outside line work a little bit more longer, I think he'll be all right.
Well, it looks like we're 61 laps into this race, and we still have 20 cars on the lead lap. I believe the only car left in the race any laps down is the 04 Randall Boren. Looks like he's 3 laps down. And coming up to the green here shortly, we've got Bob Roberts in the number 47 leading this group. Right behind him is Robert Thompson in the number 32. In the number number 7, we have Tony Pandon in the 3rd spot. Right behind him, we have Matthew Scott, he's been clear to the back tonight. So it looks like they'll be going green next time by.
Yeah, the field doubles up as they go into turn number 1 there. And it looks like Bob Roberts is going to start on the inside with Robert Thompson there. You know, it's been a while since we've had a new couple up on the front row, so we're going to see how Bob Roberts and Robert Thompson is going to do as they go to take the green this time by.
Well, that top line's got to be liking its chances right now. You know, Robert Thompson's pretty fast up there in the fuzzy taco ride, and behind him being Matt Scott. Right behind Matt, we have Bob Bevins, You know, they've all got a good shot here on the high side. And if you look just a couple cars back there, you guys, you'll notice little Brian Holman's working his way back up to the front. So this front pack better be on the lookout.
Yep, and here they come. Pace cars down on the pit road. And they go green with Bob Roberts bringing them to the green. And Robert Thompson staying close to his outside there.
Looks like Bob Roberts got a heck of a jump there.
Yeah, he sure did. He's got about 2 car lengths in front of Robert Thompson there heading into the, coming down the backstretch. Whoa, the 7 just jumped out of nowhere.
Oh my, that's a terrible wreck. I don't think Holman's going to be real happy about that one.
We're going to watch a replay from Brian Holman's view. Let's see what happened in this.
Whoa. It looks like they were crashing behind him as well as the back end of the field took to the green. Holman bounced off the outside wall and got into Wayne Willard. And we got the 51 going upside down there, as you guys could tell.
Yep, there's a few more cars that are going to have a rough time finishing this race tonight.
Donnie Gates is the one that went on his lid for a couple seconds.
Looks like Randall Boren's going to get another one of his laps back, which will move him a little bit closer to being back on the lead lap.
Oh, there goes my pick for the race there. But Matthew Scott's still in this one, Rob.
Yeah, well, you know, Matt's been racing a real long time. On his resume here, he's only been racing online for a year, but he's won races all over in a late model series.
You know, I think we're working our 5th caution here, and we still have quite a few guys on the lead lap as Brian Holman and the 01 car make their way out of the pits after getting repairs, and they're back on the racetrack.
Looks like Brian Holman's car is pretty much all repaired. Well, that pit crew was working overtime. He must have brought in somebody else's that went home's pit crew to help. Looked like Robert Thompson gave up his good spot up there to go into the pits as well. Bob Roberts has pitted 7 times this race, you guys, and now he's up here in the lead at lap 66. He's got to be liking his chances about now. Looks like we're going to have Bob Roberts and Tony Pandon and Matt Scott all up here in the front. This could be a pretty wild restart. Robert Thompson's back in the 13th spot, guys. He gave up quite a bit on that pit stop. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Good strategy? Bad strategy? I mean, with what we've seen, the back of the pack's not very safe tonight.
You know, I don't think it was a wise decision on his part. We still have another 50 laps to go roughly, and I personally would have stayed out at least another caution and then brought it down when there's more people coming down with me, especially the leaders.
Yeah, we saw Eddie Muah run right up there in the front with them old tires, so I think that would have went through my mind as well.
You know, I don't really think tires are much of a factor here until you get into a good long run, and that's when it really starts bearing down on you when you get them tires heated up and wearing.
Yeah, you know, we messed around on this track during the week, and it didn't seem as though we were really using a lot of tires. It just seemed like the first couple laps they were a little quicker, and after that they pretty much stayed the same. So going green this next time by.
Yeah, the pace car is once again looking for the pit road there, and he pulls down onto pit. And Bob Roberts got a big jump there coming as soon as the pace car got off the track. We'll have to see what goes on there. He's got a big lead over Matthew Scott right now.
Looks like old Bob Roberts come around that corner, and he told that flag man, wake up. He was going. Oh, we have a big wreck. Matt Scott is around.
Looks like Michael Hungerford was there as well.
There's a lot of damage to both those cars. They bounced off a lot of stuff.
Yep, let's go and take a look at the replay here. As they went green, as they went into to the first turn. Matthew Scott on the inside. Yeah, Michael Hungerford just got into him just enough to send both cars around. And it looks like Matthew Scott did hit the inside wall there.
Looks like the 04 of Randall Bourne got the lucky dog again.
We have Josh Weaver in the number 12 car coming down pit road, probably to do some repairs on his car and get 4 fresh tires. And as we're working lap 71 here under caution, we have Bob Roberts in the 47 running in first. Second place, we have Tony Pandon in the 64. We run in third. We have Bob Bevins. Bobby Cannon and then 29 is running fourth. In fifth, we have the number 80, Mark Schaefer, rounding out your top 5. Uh-oh.
Alright, and in the 6th, it's going to be Gary Moore in the 53. 7th, it's Ed Malhalik. I'm having issues with that name as well, so don't feel bad there, Nick. Then it looks like the 61 of Eddie Muha has worked his way from 18th all the way to up to 8th. So he's coming back in a quick hurry. Followed by Muha, it's going to be Brian Holman. And then number 62, and Robert Lee in the 41, running out your top 10.
What is this, our 6th caution now that we're working here?
I'm back, gentlemen. My TeamSpeak must have crashed out. Sorry about that.
Well, hopefully we can stay green for the rest of this run. I'm uncertain of that, but hopefully we will and get to see some good racing. Nobody likes to run under caution. It looks like we're going to be going green this time by. And we have Bob Roberts running in the first position with Tony Pandon running on the outside, which seems to be the preferred line tonight. And the pace car is off. And the leader takes off right when the pace car goes. Might have been a little early. We might hear from the officials.
We just may after this race. I don't know what they set down for when the leader can go green. Caution is out again. Crash in the back of the field.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's a very good spot to be. That's why I've been saying time and time again, it's best to just stay out as long as you can.
Finding out who that was. It looks like the number 12 of Michael Hungerford and the number 51, the number 18, the number 96, they're all involved, but it looks like initially the 18 and the 96 got together after the 18 come off the wall, and the rest was just pandemonium.
We're watching the replay now for that running that wreck there, and it does look like he pushed him up into the wall a little bit there.
And yeah, it came off the wall and got into him, and then they just went everywhere. These guys are racing pretty hard with this many laps to go. Matthew Scott did a heck of a job avoiding that wreck.
Yeah, and Josh Weaver in the 12 car, he's limping pretty hard around this track. Comes down, gets a service.
I was at least going to get 2 tires on this stop. I'd get 4 after spinning like that. Not a lot of cars took the pits that time.
You know, honestly, working lap 78 here, I don't think they really need to pit anymore. Yeah, I think stretching out the fuel here would be just fine. I don't think that they're really pushing that issue anymore. And track position really seems key for this racetrack. And winding down to these final laps, it's going to be won or lost by staying on the track and not on pit road.
As we have 30 to go, we know they're going to make it from here on fuel. We know you can run with good tires later in the run. I think, you know, Bob Roberts and Tony Pandon might be their best bet to stay out. You know, anybody in the top 5. Looks like we still have 17 cars on the lead lap. I didn't keep track of how many cautions this is, but it's got to be the 7th caution or so. I really didn't expect these guys to race this hard with this many laps to go, but they're proving us wrong. And now, how about a word from our sponsor, Bob's Motorsports? Once again, thanks to the guys over at Bob's.
Welcome back to Iowa Speedway. We are now lined back up, single or double file, going down the back stretch. The pace car should be turning off this time by. We have Bob Roberts running in first, and Tony Pandon working on that outside groove again. Let's see if he can do anything with the outside this time on this restart.
Is it me, Mike, and Nick, or is that 7 car blinking out up there?
Yeah, the 7's definitely blinking out there. And it looks like Bob Roberts got a good jump there again.
Yeah, I don't know. He might be called into the race trailer after the race for those kind of jumps. I watch these guys scramble here, not knowing where Tony Pandon's going to reappear. It's got to be kind of scary out there. There's a 29 get by him. He's going to complete the pass. And it looks like Bob Roberts gets loose and slows up, and the 29's going to take the lead from him. We have a new leader as Bob Bevins moves into the 3rd spot. Oh, Bob Roberts got up real tight under him and took the airway going into that corner. Oh, they're going to rough each other up. Oh,
we got
no.
a spin. Bob Roberts goes spinning through the infield. And did the caution come out?
No, the caution is not out. He'll have to get himself going the right direction and try not to speed down pit road and come out in the back of the field. Oh, no, that didn't work out very good for Bob.
Yeah, especially how he entered pit road. They're going to give him I believe it's a pass-through penalty for entering the pits. Oh, that is not the. I do apologize. That is not the pit road. That's just the Legends Oval.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll give you a penalty for just sliding into there. Look, by the time he went onto pit road, he was down to pace speed or pit speed anyhow.
Looks like we got a strong battle there for the 5th position between Gary Moore and the 62 of Brian Holman.
Yeah, Brian Holman's sneaking his way back into the picture, and it looks like old Bob Bevins in that 64 might have something to say for Bobby Cannon as well. These guys are really moving along. Followed by the 80, Mark Schaefer. He's a new member to our organization. He's having a good run tonight.
We got the 62 that did finally complete the pass on Gary Moore for 5th position, and the 01 is trying to now capitalize on that same position on the outside as Brian Holman works further towards the front.
Yeah, the 53 got on the apron there in turns 1 and 2 and slowed him down a little bit and allowing Wayne Willard to get around him on the outside.
Looks like he bottled up the guys behind him as well. We have a pretty good battle going for the 2nd position here between the 64 of Bob Bevins and the 80 of Mark Schaefer. Looks like Bob got a little tight going into the corner, though. He's going to try the inside this time. Looks like we have another casualty of the race. Josh Weaver's decided to pull his car up onto the trailer and take it home.
Now watching this battle back here for 8th position between Matthew Scott and Gary Moore. They've been going back and forth for about the last 3 laps now. And it looks like Matthew Scott was able to get in front of Gary Moore there, coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, it looks like, he's trying to get up to that high side and get that momentum going, and you kind of panic a little bit when somebody gets underneath you.
Oh, we got trouble in turn 1, maybe? No! Michael Hungerford saved it in turn 1. He was
caution is out.
Michael Hungerford was completely sideways going through turns 1 and 2 after getting into the side of Gary Moore.
Now it's going to be interesting as far as who pits and who doesn't. These guys have, 20 laps left to run, and those fresh tires could play a big role with this last 20 laps.
You know, it looked like Michael Hungerford might have done that, used that iRacing magic two-footed save glitch.
He must have, because like I said, he was completely sideways.
Looks like Randall Bourne will be our lucky dog again. Randall is going to put Randall back up on the lead lap. We'll have 17 cars on the lead lap.
Well, it looks like we have some takers again for pit road. The 8, 32, the 96, the 41, the 18, and 47 all hit pit road with about 19 to go.
Yeah, it looks like everybody outside the top 10 came in. They figure this must be their best shot to win this race, is to get some fresh tires on these things and see if they can't wheel it on the bottom, which has looked pretty much impossible once the tires have come in tonight. The top line's been really smoking.
Yeah, that's the only hope any of them have at this point, is coming in for 4 fresh tires when you're 10th back, so you can work that low groove a little better. On worn tires, it just doesn't work as well, so better on the outside groove with those.
So what do you think? Bobby Cannon's got to be feeling quite comfortable up there, you know. He's got that big cannon on the side of his car, and he'll just have it pull up beside him, and he'll blow your doors off.
Yeah, I've been keeping my eye on Bobby all race long, and once he gets going, he does not stop. It's like he shoots a cannon out of his car or something.
You know, Brian Holman's going to be starting outside row 2 on this restart. You got to keep an eye on Brian. He's a wily veteran. If anybody can get around Bobby Cannon, they're good buddies, you know. Brian wouldn't mind roughing him up a little bit to get by him, so this could be interesting.
Oh, definitely. You know, Holman's always been fast since he's came to the scene with Big Dogs Racing, and I've been keeping my eye on him as well, and real excited to see what he can do here coming to the green possibly next time by.
Yeah, it looks like Bobby Cannon's going to choose the high side. Does that look like what he's doing?
That is a very, very, very smart move by Bobby. You know, the outside line is the place you got to be.
Yeah, so starting out this run, we'll have the 29 of Bobby Cannon. On the outside pole, we'll have the number 80 of Mark Schaefer under him in the inside position in the 2 spot. Directly behind him, we'll have Bob Bevins. He's been having a great run all night. And then the guy I've been watching all night, the number 62, is Brian Holman. He's right there where he needs to be at the right time of the race. And rounding out the top 5, we've got Tony Pandon. He's been up there all night.
You know, I'm still going to put my bet on that Brian Holman. Like I said, I thought he'd be up in the top 5 coming down the last few laps, and here he is, boys. Look out for him to be in victory lane tonight.
You know, him and Wayne Willard, Wayne's starting right behind him on this run. You know, they've been running together a long time, but the one thing Wayne Willard's gotten used to over the years is looking at the back bumper of Brian Holman.
I think Wayne is going to be looking forward to finally getting in front of him and beat him for once.
And we would have it all recorded on live TV as Bob Bevins gives Brian Holman a little door shot to say hello. Going green this time, guys. The lights are off.
Yeah, and as we say, Bobby Cannon is going to be taking the outside line here on the restart. So Mark Schaefer will be starting down low this time. Followed behind them is going to be Bob Bevins and Brian Holman.
And here we go for a 15-lap shootout at Big Dogs Racing.
And it looks like Bobby Cannon just shot that cannon out of his car again, and he took off.
Brian Holman on the outside saying, "Not so fast, buddy. I know this outside moves."
You know, I think we should just use a new name for that 29 car and call him Bobby the Cannon, because that boy does shoot right out like he's been shot out of a cannon as he works the top side here to keep the lead.
Yeah, he drops that clutch and grabs those gears and goes. He's really got it put together on these restarts. Ooh, and another caution. Looks like the race admin, Gary Moore, is involved, the number 53. As we go to the replay and take a look at it, we'll take a replay from Gary's view.
Here you guys can see them going down the backstretch, heading to turn number 3. Here they come out of 4. And it looks like Michael Hungerford gets onto him on the outside. And Gary Moore doesn't know he's there and sends. And Hungerford just sends Moore for a wild ride going down the front stretch.
He rode the whole front stretch going end over end.
It looks like the 47 and the 18 took hard damage with that one too. So there's Bob Roberts, who was just, earlier tonight running up front and running strong, and now he's in the back of the field with heavy damage. So let's go on board with Gary and see how he's doing.
I don't know, you have to tell me who turned me on that one.
Hi, Gary. It's Mike up here in the booth. It looked like Michael Hungerford got you there on the outside, coming out of turn 4, and you went up a little bit there, and it looked like he sent you over on your roof.
Yeah, I'm noticing right now on the screen here, you guys are waving 2 cars by. What's going on with that, Gary?
No, it's just one. One was not in the server.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. So how's your race going tonight? What's with this tire strategy? Looks like guys are staying out on older tires and pulling it off.
Yeah, the old tires don't seem to be really holding you back at all.
Well, that could be pretty interesting right now.
Yeah, I mean, I went for, good 35 laps on tires, and it really didn't slow me down.
We'll let you get back in there, Gary, and good luck. See if you can drive that machine all the way to the front tonight. You think it's possible?
I don't know. There's not a whole lot of time left, so we'll give it our best shot.
It looks like you got all the heavy hitters, the big dogs, up front leading this show.
That's the way it should be.
All right, Gary, thanks for coming in. As we hear from the race admin, Gary Moore. Pretty interesting to hear these tires aren't really playing a part of this thing tonight. We still have the lights on the pace car, guys, so we're not going green just yet.
Yeah, I think we'll probably drop the lights going next time by. We have, right now in the running order, we have in first place the number 29 of Bobby Cannon. In the number 80 car, running second, we have Mark Schaefer. Coming up in the third spot, starting on the inside row, is the number 62 of Brian Holman. We also have the 01 restarting in the second row outside. Wayne Willard and Bob Bevins will start the third row on the inside to round out your top 5.
It looks like we're down to about 13 cars on the lead lap, so these last few cautions have really taken their toll on some of these guys.
Yeah, I think this works our 10th caution of the evening. Hopefully, this will be the last. We only got 8 to go. They'll probably have 7 when they take the green, so if they don't go, it's going to finish under caution, so that's not much of a fun show to watch there, so hopefully they'll keep them straight till the end.
Yeah, this ought to be an interesting finish. You know, there's a lot of really clean cars out there this late in the game, and they've all got pretty fresh tires. And as we heard, you know, tires aren't that big of a deal, but, you know, here they go. Going to take the green. We'll see what happens. As Bobby Cannon gets a great start.
Green flag.
Looks like the 80 of Mark Schaefer is going to stay underneath him. He's going to try it. He may clear him. Oh, and he moves up behind him. Oh,
Cannon gives him a little nudge.
He was going to try that crossover move. It looked like Mark Schaefer shut that off. We got Wayne Willard peeking up on the outside. He's pinned Brian Holman back.
Absolutely. Cannon wasn't too happy with Schaefer there as he gave him a big nudge going into turn 3 there.
It looked like he just barely had the room. It had to look real close behind the wheel.
Oh, absolutely. As we see Matthew Scott going on the inside of Wayne Willard trying to take that 4th place away from him. It looks like as he does so coming out of turn 4.
And Brian Holman's moving his way up. He's challenging Bobby Cannon for the 2nd position on the inside, but can he pull it off down there?
He didn't have steam coming out of the corner. It looks like he might try to move under him again coming out of turn 4 here.
Yeah, it seems like these first couple laps when they get tires or their tires are cold, you know, they're able to move and pass on the bottom, but as the tires come up on temperature, that top line is getting a little faster on exit. We have Matt Scott and Brian Holman battling it out side by side.
While the leader, Mark Schaefer, is just walking away while they're doing all their battling back there as we wind down with 5 to go.
Yeah, looks like they're... Go ahead.
Bobby Cannon, you know, he must be out of cannonballs, huh? He can't fire another shot. It looks like he can't even gain on that leader.
Well, with these two running side by side, you know, they have to take a little bit slower going around the track.
Looks like we got the 62 that finally completed the pass. He might have enough time to catch the leader, but I just don't think he's got what it takes this evening to complete it. Looks like we might have Mark as our winner this evening, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to make up that much ground. Boy, Bobby Cannon's just dropping like a rock after being passed by the 62. Looks like we have a good battle heating up for 2nd position here as Matt Scott pulls up on the quarter panel of Brian Holman. Brian says, well, you're going to have to do it on the bottom, buddy.
You know, he'll run all day long out there and give you the bottom just because he knows he can work that outside groove well as we work with 2 to go.
I don't know. Matt Scott's, you know, one of those guys that's got the fresher tires, and it looks like it might pay off for him here late in the race. I don't know. Brian Holman's not giving up, is he?
No, he works that outside groove very well, and he knows how to use his momentum and shift it coming out of the corner to work for him. Like I said early in the start of the race, this is a momentum track, and the drivers that know how to use their momentum the best will use it. And it looks like the 80's coming to take the white flag. Oh, checkered.
Oh, checkered flag. Mark Schaefer wins the race. Good job, Mark.
Brian Holman finishing in 2nd. The 35 of Matthew Scott takes 3rd. The 29 of Bobby Cannon finished 4th. We got the 01 Wayne Willard that rounded out your top 5.
Yeah, and then 6th position we got Bob Evans in the 64. In the 7th position, Eddie Muha comes back to finish 7th there, and his number 61. And then Tony Pindon, he finishes 8th, followed by Robert Thompson in the 32, and Robert Lee in the 41, and it rounds out your top 10.
And we'll see if we can't catch up with Mark Schaefer, tonight's race winner. Mark Schaefer, how you doing? This is Rob up in the booth. Good win tonight, buddy.
Man, thank you very much.
What was your plan staying out there? It didn't look like tires were playing a big role, and we talked to Gary Moore earlier, and he seemed to think that the tires really didn't matter tonight.
No, the tires really didn't matter much for the runs that we've been getting. This was probably one of our longest runs. So they don't fall off till after 12, 13 laps. It just held up pretty good.
Very cool, man.
What an amazing race, man.
Yeah, they had a great run to the finish there, stayed green and let everybody race for their positions instead of letting the pace car finish it off for them.
Well, you'll be our points leader heading out of this week. How do you feel, Mark? Your first time coming in and running with the Big Dog members, and you pull yourself off a win. Good show, buddy.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, I don't know what to say. I got to thank Michael Hungerford for referring me to you guys. And just, wow, you guys put on an amazing show.
And Michael had a rough race tonight. He finished, 12 laps down, I believe.
Yeah, it's just, his luck wasn't very good tonight. He had a very, very fast car. Just, luck didn't turn his right way.
All right, Mark. Well, thanks for coming in. We'll let you go celebrate with your crew.
Hey, I just want to apologize to the 29 real fast for kind of blocking him a little bit, but...
Yeah, that's kind of what you got to do to win a race sometimes, man. Good win.
Just letting them know there's nothing intentional out there, make it public.
And we'll bring in the number 62, finished second tonight, Brian Holman. He went from the back to the front a couple times. Let's see what Brian has to say. Brian Holman, good run tonight, buddy. You brought it home in second place. We noticed you went a lot from the back to the front and back and forth, and you were right where you needed to be at the end. What happened, buddy?
Oh, man. I don't know, just some good hard racing. I guess everybody turned it up a notch because, you know, there we could, at the start of the race, we could start in the back and come up toward the front and pit and, you know, so on and so on. But I don't know. We just come up one spot short.
Well, you did a great job out there, Brian. I'm just curious. There's a couple of times you had stayed out and went on old tires. How was that car feeling out there on old tires? Did it make a difference to you or not?
You know, the tires really never fell off. You know, I mean, you know, as short runs as was having, you know, it's just caution. You know, we'd get a lot of caution laps, but you know, if we could have got some good long green flag runs, and I mean, it'd have wore the tires out. But I mean, as quick as the cautions were falling, you know, we could, you know, you could cool your tires back down, and I mean, they'd last for a while. So, really wasn't that big of an issue.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be at all, and it seemed like you were working that outside line like a champ there. It was very fun watching you. Great job on your second place finish there, buddy.
Hey, thank you, man.
All right. Well, that concludes our interview with Brian Holman. Why don't we bring Matt Scott, our third place finisher, in tonight? Matt Scott, good finish tonight, man. Started up there on the pole and brought yourself home a third place finish. Ought to be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, I'm feeling real good. The Big Dogs Sims Racing really put together a good setup this weekend. Had a lot of fun practicing and running with these guys. I got into a little tangle in the middle of the race there, which kind of put me back, but fought back and ended up with a good third place finish. Good points night overall.
Good race tonight, Matt. Way to keep the car underneath you all night long and staying out of trouble. Good job, bud.
Yeah, thanks. And I mean, if these guys keep putting setups together like this, it's going to be a really good long season. A lot of people are going to have some fun watching it.
Good race tonight, man. We're going to go ahead and bring down Bobby Cannon, number 29, who was the fourth place finisher, and then league admin Gary Moore at the same time. Good race tonight, Matt.
Thank you.
Bobby the Cannonball Cannon. What
How's it
happened
going,
to you
gentlemen?
tonight, buddy? You were having a great run there at the end of the race, and it looked like at one point you just dropped clear back. What happened, buddy?
The car was running good, man. I was starting on the outside line because it was just that seemed like the line to take, and you know, Schaefer got a good run and pulled up in front of me, and you know, was racing him hard, and we come down through the corner, and he threw the block, and when I tagged him in the rear end, car developed a push. So you know, I was real lucky to finish fourth like I did. I figured I was fixing to get freight trained.
Well, good points run night anyways, and good finish. It was fun watching you guys out there. Looked like you had a pretty good piece under you tonight.
Oh yeah, car was great. You know, just had fun, man. It's just another step up from the level. It's great fun.
All right, well, thanks for coming in, Bob. We'll look forward to seeing you next week, trying to pull out a win. We're going to go ahead and finish out the show tonight with the league admins, Gary Moore and Bob Bevins. So, guys, we got a couple questions for you. We noticed tonight there was a few cars that were able to fix their damage. Did you guys have resets on?
We had a few resets on by mistake, but we'll take care of that in the future.
Okay, we were curious. You know, we were in the booth talking, and all of a sudden we had cars coming out looking really clean. But overall, it was a good race. Quite a few cautions tonight. What do you guys think?
Well, we let the guys race, and I think we may have to squeeze them down a little bit. But overall, I thought it was a good race. There was a lot of good racing and giving and take out there. But I think the guys did a good job, and we look forward to next week.
Well, it was a better race than my commentating, that's for sure.
I'm sure you did a heck of a job, and as an admin, I would like to thank Glacier TV for putting this race on, and looking forward to working with them for the rest of the season.
Yes, I'd also like to thank Rick Kane's calls for their support.
Yeah, the guys over at Rick Hahne Calls. For any of you guys' hunting call needs, Rick's the guy to call. RickHaneyCalls.com, or you can also find him on Facebook under Rick Hahne Calls.
And make sure you check in with us next week for next week's race.
Yep. Next week we will actually be hitting the short track of Toyota's. I like to call it a speedway, even though that's not the correct name for it. It's a fast, you know, pretty much a one groove track there at Toyota, and we're looking forward to that next week.
Probably going to be a lot of pushing and shoving.
Oh, absolutely. Since it is a one lane track, everybody will want that one lane. And so you thought that tonight was interesting. Come back next week and you're going to see a lot more banging and racing.
Well, let's do a rundown from tonight's race. Of course, tonight's race winner is Mark Schaefer. Followed closely in second was Brian Holman. Third place, Matthew Scott in the 35. Then in fourth place, we had Bobby Cannon in the number 29. Fifth place, we had Wayne Willard in the 01. Sixth place, we had Bob Bevins in the number 64. Seventh place, we had the number 61 of Eddie Mua. Place, we had the number 7 of Tony Pandon. Coming in at ninth was the number 32 of Robert Thompson. Finishing 10th tonight was our defending late model series champion, Robert Lee, in the 41. Followed by him was the number 04, Randall Boren. Followed by the number 8 of Ed Mahalsik. In 13th position, we had Gary Moore in the number 53. 13th, we had the 53 of Gary Moore. 14th, we had the 18 of Steve Bryan. 15th, we had the 00 of Mark Figueroa. 16th, we had the 96 of Michael Hungerford. 17th, the 47 of Bob Roberts. 18th, we had the 21 of Corey Valkenat. 19th, we had the number 12 of Josh Weaver. And 20th, we had the number 51 of Donnie Gates. 21st, we brought in Glenn Nettersol in the number 92. 22nd position would go to Sam Henry, the number 99. And finishing out the field, we have Ron Miller in the number 60 car. The number 5, Gabe Adair, did not start the race. So there's your top 23 after tonight's race.
Well, I want to throw a special shout out to Glacier TV and thank them for televising this race, and I want to thank Big Dogs Racing also for giving me the opportunity to sit up here in the booth and make a fool of myself.
Well, Nick, it was definitely a pleasure having you up here in the booth with us, and I would like to thank Glacier TV as well. I'm going to be running a partial schedule this season, so I'll probably be here for the third race at USA International, as it is being one of my home tracks here in Florida. So I'm looking forward to June 26th, be making my first race here with the TV series Late Models with Big Dogs Racing. And I'll be back up here in the booth with you guys in Toyota.
All right. Once again, I'd like to give a special thank you to Nick Giles and Mike Taylor and Mr. Phil Diaz from Glacier TV for coming in tonight and helping us with this. It's been a good night of racing. We'll see you all next week at Irwindale.